Hello, today I'm going to show you how to do a selective color technique. And what that means is taking a photograph, turning it black and white, and then bringing out the color in just one section. So this is what it will look like after our process. So let's start off with a photograph. Now choose any photograph that you'd like, but maybe one that has some bright color in an object. Also, that object that has color shouldn't be too complicated because we're going to have to be moving our mouse over all the areas of that object. So keep it somewhat simple, or it might take a while. All right, so if you've forgotten how to open up a photograph, once you're in Photoshop, you can go to File, Open, and navigate to the folder that you have your photograph in and open it up. So we're going to start by doing the first step that we did last time when I showed you how to make a photograph black and white. And that was to go down to the adjustment layer icon here in the layers palette and choose black and white. And now our photograph is black and white. And now I am going to sort of bring the color back of this sculpture. This is an Alexander Calder sculpture, by the way. I was in Seattle. You can see the Space Needle a little bit in the distance there. But anyway, I thought this would be a good one because it has that sculpture is really bright red and it'll look dramatic against the black and white. Notice in your layers palette, we now have a layer that says black and white over it. And this little square here, it's called a mask. It's like masking off all the color and turning it black and white. What we're going to do is we're going to erase through this mask to reveal the color underneath on that background layer. So we're going to go over to the eraser icon. This is the little eraser tool. Make sure that it's on the basic eraser tool. Make sure that your foreground color is white and the background color is black. If it is not, then you can click on this little redo little icon or switcheroo little icon there. Oops, do you see I got a little spot of blue there. I'm going to Command Z to undo that. All right, and now I'm just literally going to click and drag my mouse, and basically I'm erasing through that mask. Now make sure you're not on that. That's going to bring up our little black and white options here. You want to be on the mask, that little white rectangle. And you can actually see as I erase, you can actually see that a little erasing area through that mask. We're erasing through the mask. One thing that will be extremely useful is to use the bracket keys on your keyboard. The right bracket key will make the brush larger. Left will make it smaller, so that like if I'm up in this little corner here, I need a very tiny little brush size. You can also get to that by going here, moving the size there. And also the hardness here. Hardness 100% means it has a very, very hard edge. Okay, I'm going to just sort of zoom in here. You can see that edge is very, very distinct. Hardness 0 means that brush edge, that eraser edge is soft. I think for this technique, this tutorial, I think like 7 in the 70s. It doesn't matter too much as long as you can see, a nice clean edge and it's not going fuzzy into the outside areas. But I do want to make my brush size a little larger for these larger areas, or this is going to take forever. But you can see how it's very helpful to change the size as needed with the bracket keys. All right, so I'm just going to take a minute to just keep going over this whole area. Now, if you make a mistake, let's say I'm going into that nice blue sky, what you'll want to do is we want to change the foreground color from white to black and then go right over it. Basically what we're doing is in that mask area, we're deleting that mask area off. So it's just a matter, white goes through the mask. All right, so continue with that until it looks like this. I would recommend though zooming in to these areas. Remember, you could use the zoom tool or the Command +- tool. because, you know, here's a whole area that I kind of missed. So I do recommend, you know, zooming in so that you can kind of see what you're doing. Oop, you can really see a funny edge there. I do not want that. I'm going to go back to hardness 0. And make sure that it is all complete. Once it is, then File, we're going to save it. Remember, when you go to File, Save As, you can save it as a Photoshop document if you're going to edit it later, or if you're ready to turn in, you can do Save a Copy, then select JPEG, title it Selective Color, navigate to the folder that you want it saved in, click Save, keep this somewhere between 10 and 12, click OK, and turn it into Google Classroom. Bye!